Hey, it's Liz. Welcome back to another episode of my older women backpacking events that I'm doing this from a whole lot of footage that I got last weekend when I went for a couple of nights just to try out some of the new gear that I've been buying recently. So I wanted to speak to you today about the shelter that I bought and Hyperlite mountain gear tent. It comes up in three pieces. They're called module. It's a modular tent. So it's three pieces. Let's talk more about that and I'll show you what I think of the tent and how to put it together. The first thing I like to do as I'm approaching camp is to set the poles. It needs two trekking poles. I set one to the height of just above where my armpit is or my chest area, and the second pole is just to my waist. The one on my waist will be the back, and the one to chest area is the pole that sets up the front of the tent. I like to keep my tarp and my awning on the outside of my backpack just to put it up quickly when it's raining. The three separate pieces is the tarp, the body of the bathtub flooring, which is about 4 inches of side for it, great for flooding. And also there's a beek, which is actually the awning, and the third part of the tent. It's great for gear protection or cooking if needed indoors. The tent is also all made out of Dyneema fiber, and the mesh, of course, is to protect for bug, and I try to keep that very dry. The tent comes with all guidelines. It's easier if you put your tent away with all of the zippers closed. And this blue ring indicates that it's the front of the tent. Go ahead and place your hiking pole right in here. The Hyperlite logo will be placed on the right side of the front of the pole. It's best if you pitch your tent on one side. Then you do the pole and then do the other side. And then continue doing the same thing in the back. In reviewing my videos, I realized that it wasn't recording when I pitched the beak part, the awning, so I will have to do that. I keep the mesh part, the tent itself, with the tub. I keep that inside of my backpack, and I usually put it towards the very front and top of the backpack. You're looking at Hyperlite's mountain gear website, and this is what the tent looks like with the beak. When I bought this tent from them, I also purchased 12 of their stakes. 6 of them are for the shepherd. It's just going for the parts of that and don't need so much strength. The insert of the tent, you can do this on your knees, entering on the back side inside the tent. I've done this when it was raining, and I did it to prevent the mesh or the tent to getting wet. That was a very cool idea. I just had to use a knee pad for my knees, the Z rest pad. Only hooks and snaps are only used for putting this tent together. I also carry with me an emergency blanket, and just putting up the tarp and using the emergency blanket underneath to get you out of a torrential rain or hail, it's just a great idea. This tent was also designed to be hung up just by using the tent, the mesh part, and in trees. I found through experience that it's best to guide it way out as far as out as you can. It just does a better job. As I mentioned, the tent comes fully guided with guidelines for every little part, and the loop itself was kind of long, so you just have to fold it in itself 3 times sometimes, and that should work. The tent came in this bag, and it says Hyperlite mountain gear on it. It's made out of carbon fiber. I normally don't use this bag or any bag for storing my tent. I keep the tent, as I said, inside the backpack up high, like maybe the first thing you'll see. And I keep a fanny pack with food and many other things. We'll talk about my fanny pack at another video. Also, the ground floor, if you're like over 6 feet, no problem. It's lots and lots of room in there as far as for tall people, or, you know, even I think 2 heavy-set men can fit there as well. Yeah. So anyway, I do love this tent, and I recommend it highly. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe, and hopefully you can share with others. Hit the subscribe and notify the little bell as well, so you can keep in touch with me as to what I'm uploading next. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching.